You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You fuck, mate. We're nice now. Welcome to the Friends of Rugby podcast.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
That was kind of awkward.
No, it's funny. It's a joke. I'm starting with a good joke.
DJ Steve.
There we go.
Okay, we gotta start that again.
No, that's good. Keep it.
You want to keep this?
I like it.
Yeah?
I like it. Keep going.
What's
Double
the date?
down.
Do you have your news anchor date and time?
Yeah, December 24th, Christmas Eve. I don't know what time it is.
We're gonna be doing a
Lunchtime.
special year review
Yeah.
podcast.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of difficult to like reminisce.
Mine's a bit like basic, to be honest. I'm sad about that.
Sorry, I can't look at you with your fucking.
You're going to have to because it's not going anywhere.
Frank's got this light stand duct tape mic situation going on, and I just can't get over it.
We'll look back in a year when we have two fans, when we're doing our reminiscing year in progress review, and we'll remember this. I took a picture.
I wish this was videoed.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got a picture of it.
I'm gonna take some pictures too because
Yeah.
this is gold.
Have we got socials? You know, people say it'll go on the socials. Have we got socials?
So I guess we'll start this off.
Don't answer my question.
What?
Have we got socials?
We're gonna be having the socials.
Oh
soon.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Can we get a like button?
Yes, we will have like button.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, we'll be on all the platforms really soon.
Nice.
Starting a podcast was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hassle, eh?
It is a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah. It's fun though.
Yeah.
I had a hell of a week, so.
Yes, you did.
I
I'm not
did.
even gonna get into that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So let's start off. Let's just start out this podcast off easy, which is a simple question.
Yeah.
If you could sum up 2023 in one word, what would you use?
One word.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to.
I was excited. I was going to think of a word.
What would you use?
I think I'd make a noise, actually, not a word.
What would it be?
I'd go, ugh.
Is that how you'd feel?
Yeah, because there's a note of disappointment, there's a note of shock, and also excitement. So yeah.
All in one?
How about you?
Well,
You can say a word. You don't have to do a noise.
Oh, I think this was like the best year of rugby.
Ever.
Well, since I've started watching.
I think if you're an Irish fan, yeah, there's a lot to be happy about.
I think if you're a rugby fan in general.
No. There's some bad stuff. 3 English teams collapsing. Welsh chaos.
Yeah, but then those 3 English teams collapsed.
New Zealand
got better.
isolated. Australia of the worst I've ever seen them.
The drama. I love the drama.
Yeah, but if the drama means the collapse of world rugby, it's not a good thing.
I think there was a ton of good rugby.
There was a lot of good rugby. There was some of the best
Teams that were on the brink of like just being a disaster and then coming back. Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of good drama this year.
There was a lot of good drama. Yeah, that's true.
I liked it a lot.
Okay, but we can't just be like looking over the chaos and going, this is good. Because in 2 or 3 years, they'll be like, no scrums, and be like, good drama.
That's if like New Zealand have their way.
Yeah, no red cards, no scrums.
No scrums, no red
And we're
cards.
sat here going, drama.
No, it's definitely not league. It's still union. You sure?
It's painful. They're coming, you know. They're at the door. The rugby league guys.
Is there any news you want to talk about before we really get into this?
News of the week. Not really. I think there was a few stories, but nothing groundbreaking like the RG Snyman news last week, which shook me to my core.
Shook the world to the core.
It did. Yeah.
I think you and I were the only people that cared.
I thought it was hilarious. It was good. That was good. No, not really. No, we can go straight. How about you? Any news?
I like that Lawrence D'Angelo bit that came out.
MD Amina. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said?
No?
He was bitching about how South Africa is in the European Champions Cup and that
Okay.
we're helping them out.
I kind of agree with him.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, it does benefit the money side of things from TV deals in South Africa, but I don't see what we're getting out of it as a continent in Europe.
I just don't see how playing against the top competition in the world is gonna like not benefit you.
Do you thinking it's like it's better we have them than New Zealand have them?
100%.
Just take them off
They
your
already
hands.
miss them.
They do miss them.
You listen to all their their pundits. Oh, I'm missing South Africa. We need them back. It's
Yeah.
a big difference. Like, it's a big difference.
Oh, of course it is.
They bring the heat in Super Rugby.
They bring physicality that New Zealand probably need to prepare for internationals with.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. They still got the Rugby Championship until the South Africa invited to the Six Nations. And then
What's gonna happen?
And then the fucking Ragnarok happens. That's what, like the end of the fucking rugby world.
If they get invited into the Six Nations, the war zone that the Six Nations is gonna turn into, like, it's gonna be too violent. Now you have another team, another grinding team. Like, it's almost too much.
And if you're talking about player welfare,
that's what I'm getting at.
That's the end of rugby.
Because now you have another super physical team you got to go through.
Well, just a whole other massive international game you've got to play every year.
Fucking poor Italy.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Yeah. We can't say they're getting better for another year. We can't say it. Like, it's embarrassing.
They're just scraping by, and then you add fucking South Africa into
just
the mix.
Another kick at the teeth while they're down.
It's like, oh,
please,
shit.
Please.
Fuck.
Mercy.
Everything's going well. Yeah, we're gonna have a good year. South Africa in the Six Nations.
No,
Fuck. They would die.
That would suck.
They would just.
Well, so would a lot of other teams.
Well, we have something special. We're gonna do basically team awards.
Yeah, it's like the Oscars for rugby.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
The Friends of Rugby Oscars for rugby.
Yes, I like that.
So I think we'll just do. I'll lead us into this.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the team of the year per position.
You want to start with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good one.
That's like the best actor Oscar first, though.
No. It's not like the whole team.
This is like starting with dessert.
We're starting with per position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair
We're not
enough.
doing the team.
Okay.
Right? That's a whole different category. I
Okay.
saved that for later.
Right. Fair enough.
All right. So, team per position.
Okay, we're starting with the forwards.
Yeah, we'll go 1 to 15.
All right, you start.
Hold on, I want to ask you. Hold on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who did you pick for number 1 at Loose Head?
Cyril Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just like him. No, I think France's pack. I mean, they've got a good reputation, but I think he does the scrummaging really well anyway. But I like him around the field as well.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few props who didn't just look exhausted as well. He looked like hungry. He looked excited. He was involved in some of the most exciting games this year. I was a close one because I wanted to go Tyg Furlong as well, and I think he had a really good year.
Oh, he's a tight head.
Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
Loose head.
Oh. I was going to go Andrew Porter.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, Tyg Furlong and Andrew Porter, similar vibe. Like, they both just look tired. And I think they're both excellent players. They just...
I disagree with you on that because my top loose head of the year was Andrew Porter.
Fair enough.
Because he's a fucking workhorse.
He is. I like him. Yeah, he was my second.
He's not the best scrummager,
yeah,
I would say, but he's solid.
Yeah.
And his work rate around the field is immense. He's playing like 80 minutes every game.
Yeah. He tackles well as well.
Yeah,
like, he's not just a scrummager.
He's a player.
He is.
Like, he does everything good around the field, I think.
Yeah, no, hard to disagree. Honestly, my list is kind of basic, so I'm hoping we have some spicy disagreements. I've got one spicy guy.
Okay, so who did you have for hooker?
Dan Sheehan.
Oh, you picked Dan Sheehan.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's so young and fresh and exciting, and like he'll pop up on the wing and score a try. And a lot of hookers these days have to be athletic and everywhere, but he's kind of like, he's the modern hooker. He's the epitome of a modern hooker, and I like that, you know.
Who did you think I picked?
I think you picked Dan Sheehan as well.
I didn't.
What?
This is where it gets interesting.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to pick him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't look past Bungie Mbonambi.
Okay.
I had to pick him.
Yeah.
He was amazing this year.
And I think people didn't expect him to be that good.
Yeah.
South Africa, the story was, oh, they're missing Malcolm Marks, right?
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it in a World Cup final.
No. He was the guy like, oh man, if he's gone. When he came out in that final, I thought they were done for.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because he had such... I wanted to pick Dan Sheehan.
Yeah.
But Bungie was...
Fair enough. Yeah.
Now for your tight head.
Do you know, okay, I've changed my mind. Last minute change. I'm gonna go Tyke Furlong.
You're gonna go him?
Yeah, I feel bad for him actually. No, I don't feel bad for him. He's awesome. Like, I think, it's easy to pick based on the last game that was played, and obviously they lost the last international game they played. But I think if I forget the rest of the year he's had, which has been outstanding, like Ireland made the Six Nations look easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare you see a team from the first game. The Six Nations was kind of boring for me because I was Ireland have won this. Like game one, I was like, they've won this. When they beat France, it was like, that's easy, done. And I think he was kind of the key to that, actually.
So what do you think I picked a tight head?
I think picked Tyke Furlong.
I didn't.
What?
No,
Okay,
I didn't.
okay.
I was going for, when I was looking through this list, I was going through the players of the year.
Yeah.
I was really going like who was good from this January to December.
Yeah.
Like who was good all the way through.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I was like, and Ty, he kind of faded out, and he still doesn't look great. I told you he needs vacation.
He does need a vacation.
Like,
but don't forget the Six Nations, though, you know?
Yeah, and he was great. But Uini Antonio.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
For his fucking size,
He's
like he can play. He's got a gas tank in him.
He does.
Yeah, you look like this. You look at him, and you're, first of all, you don't even think he plays rugby.
Yeah.
And then he's lasting 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's fit.
Yeah. I thought the same about Will Skelton. I think sometimes with Will Skelton, he's on the field because he's just
big.
Like, he's another species.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, some games he'll do stuff that's really good for a rugby player. That sounds really derogatory, but, like, I feel the same about Antonio sometimes. Like, it's like, oh, he can play rugby. He's not just fucking massive.
Will Skelton is also, like, he's a lot more fit than he looks, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he was ready to play. I was like, if you look at him, you're like, he's not, like, but he can play whole games.
Yeah. And you know, this sounds disrespectful. Maybe it is.
But we should talk about Weenie here.
Yeah, I am talking about him.
Yeah.
So sometimes I look at him and go, like, he's got a bit of a gut. He's not going to make the full 80. And he does. Like, he's fit, right?
Isn't he, like, the heaviest prop in the world or something?
He might be the heaviest human in the world. He's fucking massive. No, he's awesome.
He comes in just full of cheeseburgers, and then he can play 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive.
Okay, you're going to go first with the locks, okay?
Why is that?
Because I went first with the front row.
Okay, so
I want you to have the...
I think number 4 is going to be something we're going to go pretty similar.
I think so. Tell me.
Eaton Itzebeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It was just, that's just a given.
It was that try against England where he just grabbed the ball. England were looking like they might sneak the game against all odds. And then he was like, no, not today. I'm scoring a try.
I don't think there was a game I've watched with him in it this year where, like, he wasn't, like, the best player on the field or one of them.
Yeah. He's ferocious.
All year. He's getting better.
Yeah. He was due a dip as well. He's been playing so well for so long, and he had that injury. I thought he was going to come back and be like a lot of players after a real spell of success come back after a decent injury and they dip a bit. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He came back strong. And South Africa have so many locks that are amazing. So yeah, easy pick, eh?
So for number 5,
you tell me first.
Marcos Kramer.
Okay.
From Argentina.
Okay. I like that you put I've got an Argentina guy in here as well, but I'm glad you put one in there. Tell me why, though. That's an interesting
He's a
pick.
workhorse.
Yeah?
He had, like, the most tackles in the World Cup.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a machine.
Okay.
Like, oh, man.
That's kind of basic now.
Yeah, he's all over the field. Like, you'd have him on any team.
Argentina have been a bit disappointing this year.
Yeah, well, they had a disappointing World Cup. They're not the team of the year.
No.
They got a player in there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got an Argentinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who did you have?
I had Cameron Woki.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like he's kind of like Dan Sheehan for me in that he's young, exciting, fresh, happening. But he similarly, he reminds me a bit of, well, he reminds me a lot of young modern locks like Dav Jenkins, the Welsh guy. Like, he's just can do a lot of things that you don't expect.
He was going to be, I was debating.
He's fast as well for a lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets a lot of work done. Maybe it's just there's just a sort of youthful energy I like about him. More of a vibe than a statistics pick.
And then, who do you have for number 6?
Courtney Laws.
Oh yeah.
I love Courtney Laws.
He's even getting better.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's announced
he's on
he's
fire
retiring
right now.
though. He's retiring from international rugby.
Yeah.
So this would have been, I think, his last game in an England shirt. In that.
He didn't even play
game.
last game. He didn't play in the bronze medal match.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. He called it quits right before that.
Yeah. So.
But for like the Saints.
Yeah.
He's
still good. Yeah. Like I think
he got man in the match like last week.
He did. Yeah. I think he's a true blindside flanker as well. Like I think a lot of people get confused about the difference between a 6 and a 7, and your 6 is kind of an enforcer as well as a flanker, right? And like we all know he's famous for his big hits, but he's obviously still hungry to win every game, and like he's a leader now as well, right? And I like that about him. Like you could captain a team pretty comfortably. So that was How about you? Who'd you pick?
For 6.
Yeah.
You know who I picked. Peter Romani. Dude's had a fucking year.
I love to hate. The man we all wish was in our team.
The guy's a fucking warrior.
He's scary, isn't he? He's scary. Yeah.
And for his age, like...
Yeah, he has no right to be competing at that level.
No.
Well, maybe he does, but...
And he was in the thick of it every fucking game.
Yeah, he's a monster still.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't deny it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about him then.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's not just because I'm an idiot, but like he was still there doing everything.
I was just, as soon as I thought about that, I was like, oh, Peter.
Easy pick, eh?
Yeah, no, I thought that was an easier pick for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Number 7.
This is my bias. I like Jack Morgan. I think he's the future king of Wales, taking Alan Wynne-Jones's title. We needed a young, exciting forward badly in Wales. Like we produce quality back rowers all the time, but this guy is like world quality. You know, I hope he's going to be one of those guys we talk about in 10 years in terms of, world tens.
How old is he? Do you know?
I don't know how old he is. He's young though. He's early 20s. He started off at Scarlets, then Ospreys got him. But the World Cup was the big thing. That game against Australia where he kicked that 50-22 and just stole momentum from Australia. And in the end, it was a comfortable win. But that moment for me was where he said, like, you're not even coming close to winning this game, Australia. This is my game today, right? And that first try where he burst through the line and passed it to Gareth Davis, like, everything about him, like, he could play. He's like Justin Tipuric. You could put him on the wing and he'd probably do a good job,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love the kid. There's a lot of other good 7s in the world, though. Maybe he's not objectively the best 7, but he's the 7 in my heart.
And then, can you guess who I picked?
Van der Fleer?
No, I didn't pick Van der Fleer.
Okay, hang on. Let me think a sec. Peter Steph Toy? No, he's not. No.
I picked Sia.
Yeah, I was going to say that was, yeah.
I had to pick him.
Yeah.
When he was injured, I think he was injured in the Rugby Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they played, and then the way they played after he came back.
Yeah.
Like, he is a true leader.
That's what I was going to say. Like, for me, he reminds me of, like, Sam Waterburn. Like, it's his leadership qualities. He's such a classy guy as well, right? Mm-hmm. There's never a hint of pettiness or bitterness to him, right? Like, everything is good. He's such a gentleman,
I would say, like, he's like South Africa's Johnny Sexton. Like, when he's on the field,
yeah, like
they connect in different, like, you tell, like, the games that this year he didn't play versus the ones he did.
Yeah.
It was night and day.
He's the voice on the field that links it all together, eh?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because that's about where the Johnny Sexton comparisons end for me. That's a good pick, though. Fair enough.
Number 8, who's your 8 man?
This one's a bit basic, but he fucking deserves it. Ardie Savea.
Oh,
yeah,
that's who I picked too.
That guy just he carries New Zealand. He carries them hard.
The whole fucking team was on his back.
Yeah, he carries New Zealand. Not that they're a bad team, but he carries them. Like, he'll just pop up and do stuff, right? Like,
man, like when he gets the ball and then like there's like 4 guys trying to tackle him and he's just driving through.
Yeah.
Fucking love
there'll
that.
be rucks where there's like 2 or 3 guys secured the ball and it's like, it's their ball. It's going to come out and Ardie Savea will like take on 3 men single-handedly and win a turnover or something.
He also changes games.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he does.
Like, he's a game changer.
He is. And he's a nice guy as well. Like, see him in interviews. Like, he's a really nice guy.
I'm actually surprised he's not a captain.
Why is he not?
Because of Kane. Kane's the captain.
Right. Oh, that was kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, we can get into that later.
Yeah, we could. Okay.
But
I'm gonna write
yeah,
that down.
I think he'll be in the future. I think he'll be the captain. Unless I don't know how long Sam Kane. I think Sam Kane wants some redemption
He's kind of redeemed himself
when he took that fucking red card.
Yeah, but I feel like I think he proved a point against Ireland. Yeah, he kind of, that red card did fuck them, but
Yeah.
against Ireland, I think he shut a lot of people up. He was like, no, I deserve my position in this team.
Well, yeah, he decides to play the best game of his life.
Yeah.
Fuck, that really bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, number 9.
Who
Who did you choose?
Aaron Smith.
You chose Aaron Smith?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess
You did
who
as
I
well,
chose?
though, didn't you?
I chose the blowjob fanatic Aaron Smith.
Yeah, not the most morally
Did you ever read his fucking
clean
text messages
character.
with his mistress?
Oh, yeah. That's why I was groaning.
Make sure that you said that you gave me a blowjob. Fuck. So yes, Aaron Smith is a piece of shit, but he's a fucking great 9.
I mean, if you're making Antoine Dupont look a little bit average, like, yeah.
I think he's comparable. When you put the 2 and 2 together,
Yeah. I think he's slightly better.
you could argue that
Yeah.
100%.
And I think about Antoine Dupont is he's probably at times the best rugby player in the world. Aaron Smith is the best 9 in the world. You know
He
what I
also
mean?
does like the scrum half, like being a piece of shit on the field things really well, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Antoine Dupont, he's
not aggressive enough, is he? He's not
he
niggly
doesn't-
enough.
Yeah, he doesn't have that niggle in him.
Yeah, not yet, eh?
100%. That's totally true.
He's almost like too confident.
You want to like hate him, and everyone loves him. The other
Yeah.
team's like, oh man, I really like this guy.
Yeah. No, you don't want your 9 to be a liked person, do you?
Yeah, as much as I didn't want to give Aaron Smith any credit.
No, he's good, man.
But he is
He had a hell of a
incredible. All right, here we go.
Okay, you go first for 10.
Fly half.
You go first.
Johnny Sexton.
Controversial. Not at all. Yeah. Why though?
Look at the year he had.
Quarterfinal exit.
Yeah, I think that was more of a coaching thing. But he like for his age.
Yeah.
For his age and how he played, and how he like leads Ireland. Like he was in 2022 and 2023, you were putting Johnny Sexton on every team.
I don't think so.
Oh, I 100%.
No, I don't think so. I don't like legacy awards, you know.
It wasn't legacy for 2022 and 2023, especially 2023. He was amazing.
The quarterfinal exit though, like this was
You can't
Ireland's
put that,
year.
You can't put that down.
This is Ireland's year.
That's
to
gonna
win
come
the
up
World Cup.
later. That's gonna come up later. But you just can't.
He's a great player. I just think they were better 10s this year.
Who did you pick?
Which makes my pick seem a bit silly, really. I picked Santiago Carreras.
Oh yeah.
Which, having said all the things you've said, this seems like
quarterfinal exit. I mean, semifinal exit.
Yeah, exactly.
Semifinal
Got further
exit.
than Ireland.
You can't pick
got
him.
further than Ireland, so
He didn't win the World Cup, so you can't even pick him.
Well, go further than your guy. I see what you're saying though. Like, it's a bit hypocritical of me not to pick the absolute statistically trophy holding best 10.
Just pick Mwanga.
I nearly did. He's good.
You could. Anyone could. Pick him.
I like a running 10. I like that Santiago Carreras takes the ball to the line, breaks the line.
Mm-hmm.
People like Big Aaron Sexton, who I love as players, they're not. They're generals.
I like the general fly half.
I like it as well. I just think.
I think the teams work out better when they have a general more than a player.
That's true. Yeah,
Right?
that's true. Yeah.
They need that. They need that. He's like the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. He's directing the play. Like those kind of guys. Like Owen Farrell's like that too.
Yeah. If you broke the line, you can't see what your team's up to, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I'm saying though is I like Mwanga, I like Finn Russell, I like Santiago Carreras, I like those guys who take it close to the line, I like the guys who break the line and change the game.
You like the Mavericks?
I do like the Mavericks.
Are you Cipriani?
I love Cipriani. I'm a Cipriani simp. Yeah, I love that guy. But no, the Carreras is. I think he was the difference between a bad Argentina and a good Argentina this year for me. Like he was the one who took them to a semi-final, I think. Because he is a general as well as a running 10. So yeah.
Okay, here we go. Number 11.
Kurtley Andres Arense.
Oh, you picked him.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so like when he came on the scene, I thought this is a Wish.com Cheslin Colby. Look at this guy with his scrum cap that doesn't fit properly.
He looks like a child. He still looks like a kid.
Yeah. And Cheslin Colby already had the looks like a child spot covered.
Yeah.
But no, he was amazing. Like he had a couple of really good tries in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like, it doesn't play like his size. Kind of like Jaslyn Colby, right? He still makes his tackles. He's always where he needs to be defensively, and he's exciting and fast.
He goes to work.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he looks like he really gives a shit.
Like he's all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not afraid of anyone.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a warrior, right? For his size, he's an absolute warrior. And I think it's good in a South Africa team, which we associate with being like absolute massive monsters, that they've got guys like that in their team, who kind of buck the trend and reinforce. So you can be any size and play rugby. Like this guy proves it. Colby proves it. Faf de Klerk proves it. That guy's what, 5'8", something like that.
The only thing is, like in that semi-final game with England,
Mm.
you're watching this game. England had the clear advantage over the high ball, because of like their wingers were so short, and their guys were so much taller, and they never took advantage of it. And I'm just watching this game like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
like, you guys have this open door. Like they cannot compete because they can't get high enough.
No,
and they just didn't. Like England was like, fuck it, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
And I think South Africa maybe won the World Cup because of their innovative tactics. When they called for that scrum instead of when they called the mark, you were like, are they insane? And it just works, right? Like they did things differently. I think a lot of other teams, Ireland were guilty of this as well as England, like just play to your strengths. South Africa was so confident in their strengths that we're going to try some things.
They weren't afraid of anyone.
They weren't, man.
And they didn't even give a fuck.
No, they didn't.
Like that was like, oh man, they had like the can't even get my words out here. Yeah, they didn't care about anyone else's strategy except for theirs.
No.
They went into every game like, we're playing the game how we want to play.
What are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah.
And I love a team like that. It's like the
other
other
team,
flex. We'll analyze your game, and South Africa just rock up and it's like, we're going to play this way. We don't care that you know what we're going to do. What are you going to do about it? And no one could do anything, right? So, yeah. Anyway, how about you? Wingers.
Josh Adams.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah, you can't. Like this guy, he doesn't get talked about enough.
He doesn't, man. I'm glad you're talking about him. Yeah, because my list is kind of basic, actually.
Because he's easily the best winger in the world, in my opinion.
Why is that?
Just how he plays.
Yeah.
Like every tournament, everything he's in, who has the most tries ever?
Yeah.
Josh Adams.
Yeah.
I don't think he had the most tries in this World Cup.
No, but he didn't play as many games.
He didn't play as many games.
Yeah.
But he would have.
Yeah.
The guy's a finisher.
Yeah.
He's great under the high ball.
He's the full package.
His defense is great.
Yeah. He's another player.
He reads the field really well.
Yeah, he does.
Like he does everything you want a winger to do and more.
I think the only asterisk is he's a bit of a petulant child. Like he kind of.
Oh, he's got some sass. I didn't know that.
Didn't he get carded for knocking someone on their ass in the World Cup? I wish I could remember this clearly. I can't remember. He did something a bit childish.
I just remember him being awesome.
He is awesome.
Now he's going to be gone to the Pro D2.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. There's no one Welsh plays in Wales anymore.
Drinking wine, eating cheese, and just playing the occasional game.
He'll be good. He's another one of those players. He'll play every game if you let him, right? Like he's really got a lot of energy. So
when I first started watching rugby, I'd always get him and George North confused.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason I always got those two. They're completely different players.
Yeah, they don't even look like.
They don't even look like but I was like, which one's which? I was like,
he's got.
Is that the guy that's brain is like oatmeal? Which one is? Which one has the oatmeal brain? Okay, so
who's your 12?
Bundyaki.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
hard to argue with that.
I think everyone's choosing that after his year.
Yeah, I was actually struggling to think of anyone else in that position who came close to him this year. It was different. Like I'm still like right now, I'm like who is comparable. Aki kind of brought back the big hard crash 12, and then he mixed it up by breaking the line, throwing in an offload, throwing in a step. Like he started the year and the World Cup. I'm going to smash over you.
Also, no one gets through him. No one gets by him.
No, he's a monster. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's like name another 12. Like who comes close? I'm really struggling. Like
maybe like Manu, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, he had a year, and he was another one similar to Etzebeth where I thought he's due a dip, or he's getting on. No, not this year.
All right, so now you're number 13.
I put Jesse Creel.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't watch I didn't watch a lot of his. No, I've watched a fair amount. I didn't watch all of his games, obviously.
Is that because you rushed the list and you're like, oh, I need a name,
No,
and that's the first one that came to your name?
No, because if I'd have done that, I'd have dialed it in. I think this is actually one of my more controversial choices. I think there are probably people would say they're better 13s. I think just the last couple of games he played for the Springboks in the World Cup, like he just looked really, really hungry, and he was another player I felt like, oh, he's winning them this game. Like he's a game changer.
My 13 I picked is definitely better.
Okay.
Who do you think I picked?
Let me think. Ringrose?
No.
Okay, that might have been a bit basic. Oh, it's a Scottish guy.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I wanted to pick Ringrose.
Okay.
But there was someone that was more...
Gail Fiku.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a good one too, though.
I like him.
Rico Ione.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, he was like... He, like, did some game-saving tackles. I like really... You know what? I kind of like defensive players.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I do.
But this guy's... He's stopping tries and scoring tries.
He is. Yeah,
like,
he is. That's what I felt about Creel. I felt like he was doing everything. He came off the final just covered in blood. Proper warrior.
Like I saw him I love those players that change games. Artie Sevilla is one of those guys.
He is.
Yeah. Rico is like exactly like that too.
Ioane has been playing outside center for a little while now, but he
started
started on the wing,
yeah.
So he's pretty versatile as well, right? And he does seem to have bulked up a bit as well.
He's young still too.
He is kind of young.
We're gonna be seeing more of him,
which is good because
I'm surprised he hasn't gone overseas yet.
He may still go to Japan after he's done a bit more Super Rugbying, right? But a lot of the best All Blacks have just retired, so they're gonna need guys like him,
And then who did you pick for number 14?
Damien Beno.
That's who I picked too.
Yeah, statistically, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I think he's probably the best rugby player right now, currently, in the world.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, statistically, you might be right. Yeah, I mean, I know it's subjective because of the different positions, but yeah, statistically, he's scoring so many fucking tries.
And he's just, he's all over the place in every game. Yeah, I would probably say, like, right now, as it stands, he's probably the best rugby player in the world. Right now.
Okay.
In the last month.
Okay.
Like he's just
I want to disagree with you, but I'm racking my brain going like, okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Like I just can't think of anyone that's just more impactful in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fullback of the year. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you go first. I'm very interested to hear your choice.
Thomas Ramos.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's good. That's good. Okay.
I wanted to pick Hugo Keenan.
I thought you were going to pick Hugo Keenan.
I was going to pick Hugo Keenan because he is just the most reliable fullback in the world.
He's exciting as well. Like he's got really good feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just he's the most reliable fullback in the world.
Yeah.
But Thomas Ramos, he wins games.
He does. He can play 10 as well. You know
he can play 10, he can play wing, he can play anywhere. And
beastly boot.
Yeah. I think his skill set is it's so vast. Like you have to put him as like the best fullback in the world.
How many French guys did you pick?
Let me take a look here. I picked 1, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I picked 3. Yeah. Who did you pick?
For fullback, Will Jordan.
He didn't even play fullback. In any games. He hasn't played fullback in any games.
I just had to put him in there. He's a good fullback.
He's played winning every
Shut
single
your face.
game.
I had to put him in there. I love Will Jordan. No, I really like Will Jordan. He was kind of like, I remember Jordan Lama when he was playing for Leinster in Ireland. Like he was one of those guys who, there'd be 3 guys in front of him ready to tackle him, and he would just somehow step around them. And then he kind of his form dipped a bit. And I think for me, Will Jordan is a similar player where if he's playing on a team, I'm scared. I am not. He picks up the ball from the most awkward bounces. He's so fast.
He's fast.
He's always where he needs to be to score a try. Like,
my thing with Will Jordan is if he's like Henry Arundel. Yeah, he's exactly like him.
How so?
If he doesn't have the ball, he's gone. He's vanished. He's like pretty much a spirit just floating around on the field. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, he's like a fucking poltergeist. Like he's just oh shit. Oh yeah, he's playing. Like he's one of those guys that you have to feed him his success.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
he
as long thrives in the chaos.
Like he scores a lot of tries, but he's getting fed those tries. Like he's not like.
I disagree. But that's
Yeah,
the
like
beauty of it.
that's how I feel about I'm not worried about if he's playing on if his opposite wing
Yeah.
has got his number
Yeah.
or is not going to like put up with his shit, he's basically fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I feel about him.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like him. You are right though. He didn't play a lot of fullback.
No, he never played fullback. I don't think he played fullback at all for the All Blacks.
Still, well, he's played
fullback
fullback in my heart.
Yeah.
He is, whatever. He's going to play fullback for the Crusaders, though. So it's not all about fucking World Cup, Steve. That's what I'm saying.
That's the highlight.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our team of the year.
I think we both had some interesting picks. It wasn't too bad. I was kind of worried I went a bit too basic. No. Yeah.
I didn't think it was too basic.
I'm glad you picked an Argentinian as well. I think they deserve a little bit of love.
I went all over the place. I did.
Yeah, that's good.
I was digging through because I was actually having trouble.
Yeah.
Picking the guys. I was like, who did I? I was like,
Sometimes I think Squidge did a video where like he will pick people who play for something like Portugal or Uruguay, right? And I really appreciate that because a good player in a team we don't think is a good team, if you put them in a tier 1 quote unquote team, they'd be world beaters, right? And this was what I was talking to you about Dan Bigger the other day. It's like I thought he was, I might sound a bit silly, but I thought he was the best 10 in the World Cup because Dan Bigger in a mediocre team would be an incredible player in a winning team. And I feel like we need to give some love to some of the up-and-comings, but we didn't, so whatever.
Yeah, I think I like my choices.
Yeah, me too.
I was comfortable with them at the end. There were some I was debating. I was debating about, but
I want to give you a little
Hooker. I debated about.
Yeah.
Like some of them just chose themselves.
Eben Etzebeth was my easiest pick.
Yeah, I thought that Eben,
Bundyaki and Etzebeth are my easiest picks.
Bundyaki, Etzebeth.
Oh, and Damien Peno. Never mind. There were 3 easy picks.
And Artie Sevilla.
And Artie Sevilla was an easy pick.
That was an easy pick too. There were some easy picks.
Yeah.
Right. I thought Loosehead was pretty easy for me too. I was like, Andrew Porter, he's playing everywhere. Hooker, I debated on.
It's interesting that neither of us went for World Cup finalist props though.
No, because I think like there was players that just had more, like there was just more to their game than some of the South African props.
Yeah.
Because what's that big guy's name? I can't even say his name. Their tight head, Mimverber. I can't even say it.
For who?
I fuck up everyone's name anyways.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but or like Vincent Koch or like
Vincent Koch.
Koch. Yeah,
I think so. I think it's like Dutch, like Van Gogh. I guess people say Van Gogh. Whatever.
I think before next time when we record, if it's any name, I'm just gonna practice it like 12 times.
Yeah, that's okay. You're Canadian. It's not part of your vernacular.
Yeah, that's right.
Just not worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
People think it's cute.
Part of my like thing.
Our fan thinks it's cute.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next award.
All right.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. Mine's going to sound biased. Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
All right. I'm going to say Wales, Fiji in the pool stages of the World Cup.
Ooh.
Obviously in Welsh, so I was excited. But I thought we played really well. Thought we had the game won by about 50 minutes.
Dude, the ref gave you that game.
No, he didn't. Fiji gave us that game.
Yeah,
Fiji I thought it was exciting because I thought we were going to see a lot of low-scoring slugfests, which we did see, which were compelling games, right? Ireland, South Africa was that kind of game, although a lot of people saying best game of rugby I've ever seen. It was a really good game of rugby. I like tries, though, and I saw a lot of great tries in that Fiji game. I loved seeing Fiji step up, right? I'm a little bit sad they lost. Not that sad. Obviously, I wanted to progress. But I'm really happy with their progress. It's such a shame they lost their 10. I think that would have been a different game. And it was, for me, it was one of those games where had we lost that game, potentially we're out of the World Cup, but I thought I've never been happier to lose to Fiji in those circumstances, not like 2007 where they kicked us out of the World Cup. But
you think of the game that I picked?
I think you're gonna say Ireland, South Africa.
Fuck, you caught me right on.
I mean, it was a good game. It's hard to disagree. It was. I
that
get
game
it.
had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It was like watching a spooky movie.
Yeah.
My heart was racing.
Yeah.
I love chess match.
Yeah.
I love chess match rugby. I fucking love that style.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the score's low.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Yeah.
And there's just the inches.
A single mistake
Yeah.
is going to change the game.
And then like they brought in that 7-1 split against them. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ireland. And it didn't make a difference at all.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh, fuck you guys.
Yeah. And Lebok missing kicks.
Yep.
Yeah. So it just added a layer of kind of drama to it.
Yeah. I think everything that people were worried about South Africa doing when they did all their selections and stuff and bringing players that they brought, that got exposed in that game, which I think was kind of good for South Africa. Because they're like, okay, shit, they can take advantage of it. They were a little too confident, I thought, going into that game.
Yeah.
Right? Especially with the 7-1 flex. I'm going to call it that now. The 7-1 flex.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. They won the World Cup because they were confident enough to try things. And you're right. They were like, we're going to be real confident, go into this game, try some things. And they learned from it. What did Ireland learn? You know?
That they shouldn't pick the same players every single game.
Yeah.
Like I could see what Andy Farrell was trying to do. He was trying to create some like cohesion, like really good. He was good. He was probably trying to be the most cohesive team in the thing. But I think it was just an experiment that didn't work out. But
I mean,
you'll learn.
It's hard because the game Ireland lost, it was so close anyway, right? It literally came down to a point, right? Was it 3? No, it was close anyway. It was
like
a score.
4 points, 4 6 points or something like that.
Something like that.
But I think, this World Cup was like probably one of the first ones in a long time where like there was a whole crowd that could have won it.
There were 4 teams that could have won it, yeah. South Africa, France, New Zealand, and Ireland, yeah. I
think there was a lot of teams that stepped up that could have gone all the way. I think it was even bigger than that.
I'm happy. I'm not happy to see New Zealand not be as good as they are, but I'm happy other teams can beat them now. I think for me though, it is sad to see Australia, England, Wales, potentially Argentina.
I thought England could have won the World Cup.
I don't think they could have.
I thought when they were going to win that game, I was like, they're going to win the World Cup. If they beat South Africa in this game, they're winning the World Cup. I was like confident.
New Zealand in the final.
Oh yeah,
you think so?
I think they have a lot of tools that would have made it easier for them to beat New Zealand than it was for South Africa.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Strong words.
And especially since they were bullying, like they bullied South Africa.
I feel like that is their tool though. I don't see what other tools they've got.
And I think they would have done the exact same thing. I think they would have came in red hot against New Zealand.
George Ford just kick and drop goals while they batter them up front, sort of thing.
New Zealand's afraid of kicking too, so they would have been like, "Oh, what is he doing? What is that? Is that even in the rule book?" Yeah, that was my game of the year. Okay. I really wanted to pick. I was also going to pick the South Africa New Zealand game where they first brought in the 7-1 flex. I thought that was great. I loved that game.
That was a banter game, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
If we're talking about club games as well, the Leinster La Rochelle final was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a game.
Yeah, that was
that was on the edge of a fucking knife, that game for me. That was the pinnacle of club rugby this year. And that was probably one of the best club rugby games I've ever seen. But, can't argue with internationals though.
All right, our next question. This is going to be interesting here too. Coach of the year.
Oh,
you're going to be very.
You got to tell me first.
No, you got to go.
No, please do yours first.
Why?
I need to because I've got 2 names written down.
Well, how did you write 2 names?
Because I didn't follow the brief.
Oh my gosh,
it's upsetting. It's too difficult.
Well, this one's going to surprise you.
Okay.
Take a guess.
Are you going to pick Warren Gatland?
No, I'm not gonna pick Warren Gatland. Okay, never mind. He could though. He did. He did a lot.
I mean, he just came back and does
what
he does
I wouldn't
best.
be if anyone picked him as coach of the year. That was I'm gonna pick Eddie Jones. No, Ian Foster.
Oh, okay. That was gonna be my. Okay, well, tell me why.
The shit that he went through.
This redemption arc.
Like this guy's crying alone in his office. Like the abuse that he took.
Yeah.
Over the last year.
Yeah.
And to bring his team to the World Cup final, I was like, "That's what is a coach of the year?" Like the adversity that he faced, and then he still like with a straight face went through the whole thing. Like his team was fighting for him.
He took it like a champ, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Like, that whole country was against him. He had his whole fucking country.
A country who is used to winning World Cups
Yeah,
and expects to win World Cups.
There's people that have like fucking murdered people in New Zealand, and then they probably would have given that person more of a free pass than Ian Foster.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I just like after seeing like, especially like I've seen some interviews of him recently, and stuff, and like the shit that he had to go through, and then he still like just straight faced it the whole way through.
Kept Sam Cane as captain. Stuck to his guns.
Everyone was telling him to do different things, and he just stuck to his guns. And then they go to a World Cup final.
Yeah, and they didn't look out of place there.
Nope.
You know,
they're always good. Like everyone, like it's like, I didn't think they were going to win the World Cup this year, but they could have.
Yeah, they could have.
They definitely could have.
Yeah, they could.
I don't think anything put it past them. They'll always be that team.
They'll always be semis and finalists, won't they?
So who's your coaches of the year?
I'm gonna stop being a coward. I'm gonna pick Andy Farrell.
Oh.
Yeah. He took over from Joe Schmidt, and I don't think people knew what to expect because he hadn't really been able to prove himself as a head coach. And he hasn't put a step wrong since, right? I feel like what his plan was, we were just talking about it a second ago, his plan going into the World Cup by keeping the same lineup was to build momentum. If this team stays together and plays together, our strength is confidence. And we'll just keep that ball rolling until it becomes impossible to stop. And that's what they did in the Six Nations.
It also shows like how much confidence he has in his players, too.
Right. It's also Ireland's weakness. They're not good at exposing their up-and-coming players to those big pressure games, and that showed. And they're not as good at innovation. They have a complete game plan, right? It's really hard to beat them, but they don't do anything different. All that to say, though, like Farrell will be better next year, I think, because he'll start introducing little different bits here and there.
Well, he has to. I think he did. I think he did a good job throughout the year too, because they were bringing those development Ireland teams around with them on their tours.
But if you're starting the same people in the same position every game, it doesn't matter what exposure these lads are getting in different games. They've got to be playing big games. They've got to be playing World Cup semi-finals, Six Nation decider matches, and they will.
I know a big thing like that I've seen when people break down like World Cup winning teams. That cohesion in the team is like the most important thing.
It is.
But then South Africa blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Because they were grabbing guys from like fucking Japan, France. They didn't give a fuck. Like, this guy's playing in like Toronto. They don't give a fuck. Yeah.
So, and it was why I was saying I'm going to stop being a coward, because my second pick was Rassie, right? I don't really know what Jack Nienaber does. All I see is Rassie's blueprint on that team. I just see this big, confident, massive dick flopping out onto the team sheet going, I'm going to play 8 forwards in my subs bench. What are you going to do about it, right?
I feel like that is kind of a media creation, that Rassie is more involved than he is.
But when you watch the final scenes, he's the guy shouting orders at people.
He's the rock star of the team.
With plane signals to the field, right?
But I think those two work in tandem very well.
Probably. I'm just trying to sensationalize it.
And I think behind closed doors, they're like, there's a back and forth going on there that they just work really well together.
Probably.
And Rassie's like the face of the team.
But why are we talking about him if Nienaber is the actual coach?
I think because how much media attention he gets.
Maybe, eh?
Maybe
it's just sensationalism.
Yeah. Okay. He's everywhere. Everyone wants to talk to him. Jacques is like sitting in the background doing his job.
I saw a video of him drinking rum and cokes, having the best time, just like dancing. I just want to hang out with him, drink beers with him.
Oh, he'd be a good time.
He would.
He would be a good time.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Anyway, I like it. But my choice is Andy Farrell because he's really good. Hate to say it, he's really good.
I would say he's probably one of the best coaches in the world right now.
Yeah, he'll coach the Lions. I
hope so.
I put money on it. I'll put money on it, and he'd be a good choice, right? So yeah, that's my coach.
All right, the big one, the player of the year. Who did you pick?
I wrote something down and I regret it.
Who did you write down?
I wrote Quagga Smith.
Oh, did you?
Because every time that guy comes on, he wins the game. He comes on and immediately does a turnover. Like he's the most incredible impact sub I've ever seen. Just comes on and like doesn't matter where he is or what he's doing, comes on, wins a turnover straight away, right?
Well, there's honestly like 40 guys you can pick for player of the year. This one was really hard for me.
Yeah.
So I went for more of I went for the story. Who had the best story? I thought it was Sia Khaleesi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me.
He just leading two World Cups.
Yeah.
Leading the team. His inspiration.
Yeah.
Everything about him.
It's like movie worthy at this stage.
It is. He is. They're gonna make a movie about him.
Yeah.
Hands down, they'll make a movie about him.
Do you think Idris Elba would play him? I would watch that.
All right, Idris, you're gonna play 23-year-old Sia Khaleesi.
He's not 23, is he?
No, like Sia Khaleesi's like 33 or 34.
Oh, I see. Like the
biopic. He'll play him like throughout all the ages.
I would watch.
He's like
that.
16. It's just
so
Alba.
Much. I would watch.
Trying to play a teenager.
He would do it
in his biography.
He can do it. What are you talking about? He's amazing.
Yeah, I had to pick him.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's good.
Like I would say he's the best rugby captain in the world.
Oh yeah, and like I was saying earlier, there's never a hint of bitterness even when they lose. And he was talking to like Welsh media, when they beat us in that World warm up, and they absolutely hammered us. And he was just like, we've been there, guys. We know what it's like to lose and to be on a bit of a downer. You'll be back. We believe in you. And it was just like, you could just say fair play, but he like gave this heartfelt, considered point about our national side, and then he even said like thank you in Welsh to like the presenter. It's like, there's anything this guy can't do, He's like take home to your parents material,
100%. Like just do this, like choose 2023, choose a player to be the ambassador of the sport
for planet Earth. He could
for
meet
planet
the
Earth.
Fucking aliens.
Yeah, when the aliens come in,
sending CF.
Yeah, you're sending Sia.
Yeah, and he'd be like, I know you aliens have had a rough time with resources on your home world. You want to borrow ours, but we know what it's like, guys. We know what it's like. Yeah. Then he'll say something in an alien language.
Yeah, I had to choose him. Like there was tons of players I could have chose.
Oh, me too. I feel like my choice is kind of dumb now. I just like Quagga Smith when he comes on and he's just like rocking everyone's world.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Okay, good, because I like your pick and I'm jealous.
It's not as good as my pick, but I like your pick.
Shit. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think there's a lot of people that most people wouldn't pick Quagga Smith as player of the year.
No, but that makes it seem
but I think it deserves it.
Insightful.
I think it's completely legit.
I'm glad, because I'm worried I sound like an edgelord.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
No, because he's a player that like not a lot of people talk about, but he like the impact that he has.
Yeah.
It's not talked. He's like the Josh Adams of forwards. That's exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly it.
Josh Adams gets to start games though. That's the difference.
That's true.
But anyway, I like Quagga Smith. Good guy.
All right, here we go. Letdown of the year.
Oh, okay.
This could be a game. This could be a team. This could be a person. It could be anything. What did you pick?
Scotland.
And
I'm going to make some enemies right now, okay? So I get the whole narrative around the World Cup draw. I understand that it is unfair and that it should be picked close to the time based on seedings. But there felt like this Ireland, South Africa love-in for Scotland where they were just defending them. Like, oh, I know we absolutely hammered you in the pool stage of Scotland, but you deserved so much better. This is the best Scotland team I've ever seen. You deserve so much better. Like, Scotland didn't fire a shot, right? I get that the World Cup draw was a little bit unfair, but they didn't really make any case for being the best Scottish team ever, right? They got beaten soundly by Ireland and South Africa in their group stages. And this is the best Scottish team we've ever seen? Like, come on.
I thought the pool stage excuse was only used by the fans and pundits.
Fair enough.
That's why I don't think Scotland.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I knew they were gonna have a tough, but like they knew if you're gonna win a World Cup, you have to be the best.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And obviously they knew that. And actually, I've seen some Scottish players since say that. In fact, Finn Russell said that the other day. So yeah, fair enough. I guess I'm disappointed Scotland didn't step up because this is one of the best Scottish teams, the most exciting Scottish teams I've seen, and they didn't fire a shot in the World Cup. But you're also right that negativity around the fairness of the World Cup draw came from pundits and fans, not the Scottish fans or the team.
Because as a fan, I didn't like it.
No, I wouldn't like it.
I didn't like it at all.
I'd be ranting about it as well.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to rant about that.
Fair enough. And I think maybe I'm saying then separate the two instances. Scotland should have done a lot better if they were expecting to win anything. and being upset about the draw is fair enough.
Yeah, I just thought like the two teams in their pool, like the two best teams in the world at the moment, and then they got to like.
But that's what annoyed me, that narrative. It's like, you're going to have to play him at some point. You may as well. They didn't give him a game, though. That's what
but I don't think
disappointed me.
anyone was going to think Scotland was going to win the World Cup.
I
Like, that's the thing. That's the thing.
think they
Like,
did.
it wasn't that they were going to win the World Cup. It's that their World Cup was getting cut short.
No one has a free
And as a
ride
fan-
into a quarterfinal, though.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and as a fan, like I want to see them go into the quarterfinal.
If I was a Scottish fan, I'd want to see him get into the quarterfinal.
I didn't think they were going to win the World Cup.
If I was a Chile fan or a Portugal fan, I'd want to see him get into the quarterfinal. No one gets a free ride, right? That's what I'm saying.
100%.
You know.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get why people are pissed off.
But I don't think Scotland themselves. I don't think they were bitching about that at
Maybe
all.
not. Maybe not. That's
They were
fair
probably
enough.
they probably liked it.
Yeah, but
It's,
my
we can turn
letdown.
some heads here.
My letdown was them in those two games, though, because they look pretty good in the Six Nations, but they've never looked like they can beat anyone in the top four. Right?
No,
And I think that's sad, because it's like, now is your time to step up, and they didn't even fire a shot.
I feel like it's a depth thing.
It is a depth thing. Yeah, it is.
They have a
depth
really
thing.
good starting 15, and
They
then
got
it kind
some
of
real mavericks in the starting 15.
and then it kind of goes down. Like they almost beat New Zealand. I think it was last year.
Yeah,
They almost beat them. And if
that's
it wasn't for their lack of depth, because
always
as soon as they started switching out players,
yeah,
the game started changing. And as soon as New Zealand started switching out their players,
yeah,
like they were just bringing out like rock stars,
yeah.
right? And then Scotland didn't have anything left.
Scotland start bringing out South Africans.
Yeah, so it's like, oh fuck,
yeah,
what do we got left
I
here?
think I'm projecting a bit, because I think Wales went through a phase where we were winning Grand Slams and we were being talked about as at one point, very briefly, we were the number one ranked team in the world. But it's like a boxer who never fights people in their prime, right? Everyone's like, oh, you're the best right now, but you're never fighting anyone who's as good at you at the current moment. And Wales, we could never beat the Southern Hemisphere teams when we were as good as we were.
Mhm.
And it feels like that with Scotland right now. As good as they're supposed to be, they just can't beat anyone important, right? Yeah, they'll beat Wales and England, but, you know, that's not changing the world, you know?
You guess who I picked? I love
A letdown?
letdown of the year.
Australia?
No.
No?
I was kind of not expecting anything from them anyways.
No, me too. It's why it was disappointing. I didn't expect
Even with
nothing.
Eddie Jones, I was kind of like, just the way they played. I wasn't really expecting much.
No.
Nope. I picked Ireland.
Oh.
Letdown of the year.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I thought they did everything like that. That was theirs.
It was. What more could they have done? The
Yeah.
opposite to Scotland, almost, right?
Yeah.
Like, they had beaten everybody. They
Yeah.
had beaten everyone important. And
Yeah.
like they had it on a plate, right? We know we can beat New Zealand. We know we can beat South Africa. Sorry, I'm taking your story. You talk.
That's fine. That's fine. That's exactly what I was going to say. They just, everything, all the cards were aligned. Guys were healthy.
Yeah.
They just had everything in, and then just the last point, like that New Zealand game, they didn't take, and they should have took it, and they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they could have.
They could have won that game.
They could have won that. Well, yeah, they could have won that game. And yeah, I thought that was just like all like 4 years of just like of a storybook tale.
Yeah.
And just to come crashing down in that quarterfinal, especially the quarterfinal, the whole like symbology of that whole thing. Like
yeah.
The haunting of the quarterfinal. Like this is what
Yeah.
they led up to.
Yeah.
Like if they would have won that quarterfinal,
Yeah.
I think that would have been all the success they needed. They didn't even have to win the World Cup for me.
They just get the monkey off the back.
And the fact that they couldn't do that and they didn't do that, it's
Yeah.
just like, oh man, all this. It was such a waste. I felt like all like 4 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I was emotionally distraught after that game.
I would have been as an Ireland fan.
Because now it's like all over.
You couldn't have written a better World Cup 4-year cycle, could you?
No.
They didn't have that many significant injuries. They'd beaten South Africa. They'd beaten New Zealand convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
The Six Nations looked easy, right? They walked through that Six Nations in 2023. And that South Africa pool stage game where they beat them, yeah, South Africa learned some lessons, but you thought, who can beat? Ireland hadn't been beaten in a long time.
Well, here's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
So when they played New Zealand,
Yeah.
they were 17 games in a row. So if
Wow.
they would have won that game,
They would have.
they would have got 18 games in a row, which would have been the world record
Yeah.
of the most international. So the last team to attempt that, it was
New Zealand, right?
No, it was England.
Oh, okay.
So England was on 17 games.
Yeah.
Ireland beat them to stop them from getting that 18 game. The team before that
Yeah.
was New Zealand.
It's like the wheel of time.
And Ireland beat them
Oh, no.
to stop them from getting that 18th game. So there was a couple curses, I thought.
There's
a couple rugby.
There's some astrological shit.
Having that 18 games in a row.
Yeah.
That was like, there was like the quarterfinal hex, you know? So
I think what's sad about it as well is Ireland seem like a pragmatic team. Like if you'd asked them about this quarterfinal, they'd be like, that was a different team. We've literally never thought about it. Andy Farrell is this super pragmatic guy. It's like, I've not thought about it once. But then when they did lose, you start to wonder in his deepest, darkest dreams, in his diary, he's like, tomorrow is the quarterfinal.
100% you were thinking about that.
The monkey is on her back and he's like sweating in bed.
Like none of them slept.
Yeah.
Who was that? Can you just go... Tag, can you just go check the closet? I think there's a quarterfinal in there.
I saw a 25% written on the wall.
Is there a quarterfinal underneath my bed? It does haunt them.
I guess so.
And it's always going to be a thing.
I guess so.
Imagine being like that good and never getting past quarterfinal.
Imagine playing New
Wales
Zealand.
do that for fun.
Yeah, easy. We eat quarterfinals. Usually, what am I talking about? No, they played New Zealand in both this World Cup and last World Cup's quarterfinal, so they don't have that going for them either.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Yeah, they both, South Africa did that to England two World Cups in a row too. So like, man, there's going to be every time Ireland play New Zealand now, like it's always going to be a huge match now. That's almost like the new international.
They built a rivalry, haven't they?
They do.
Yeah, they have. I like that.
Yeah,
they definitely built a rivalry.
Because New Zealand hates it because they don't think they should be losing to a team like Ireland.
No.
Right?
No. They're only allowed to lose to South Africa once every 2 years as far as their media is concerned.
But what a slap in the face.
Yeah.
All that build up. And then like New Zealand gets the last laugh.
So a letdown just in terms of like the emotion of it. Because I don't think Ireland did too much wrong. I think maybe a little bit tactically, but tiny margins. Nothing that I could criticize really.
But to have that whole build up for it to fizzle into nothing was a big letdown.
Yeah,
that was the biggest letdown of 2023 for me.
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. Team of the year. Rugby team of the year. You got to go first on this one.
I am going to pick France.
You're going to pick France?
Yeah, I like France. I think they've got a really exciting young squad. Yeah, they didn't progress in the World Cup as far as they wanted, and they didn't win the Six Nations. I think they've got such an incredible coaching team. I love Sean Edwards. I miss him every day. The picture on my wall. And I think they have a real mix of youth and experience. They probably got one of the best players in the world in Dupont. They've got Penaud, Ramos. Their pack's monstrous. There's just so much potential there. And I don't really care that they lost the World Cup in their backyard because I think they've still got so much to go. And I think because the narratives around Ireland and South Africa and New Zealand seem more prominent, just the things you're talking about. You know, you were talking about the disappointment of Ireland. We were talking about Sio Kolisi and the story of South Africa. And there's such a narrative around New Zealand of them being kind of isolated now and a little bit of a fall from grace that France are able to fly under the radar a bit, but are still probably one of the best teams. They're in the top four, obviously, right? But I think
they were like one of the favorites to win the World Cup.
Of course they were, and they could beat any one of those teams on the day, and I think they will next year. That's my kind of prediction. I think they're gonna do a lot of stuff next year.
When you look at their like under 20s teams and their teams and what's coming up down the pipeline there.
Yeah, they're financially stable as well, which England can't say, Wales can't say, Ireland can say.
Galtier is like also a really good coach.
He is, and I think he came into the team with a lot of sort of criticism, and people thought he's a bit of an idiot or a maverick, but no, he's proved everyone wrong. Like he's a real good 100%. Coach, you know. And they've got a real good system. You know, they're playing homegrown kids. Their domestic league's in good health. Even their second division is in good health. Yeah, I'm jealous. So yeah, France. Easy for me, actually.
You're never going to guess the team I picked.
Okay.
Team of the year.
Team of the year? I think you're going to pick Fiji.
No.
Okay.
I could have.
I've guessed a lot wrong.
I think that would have been an easy one.
Oh, okay. What are you picking?
I picked England.
Oh. That's... Okay. You got to tell me.
I think the fact that they were completely written off.
Yeah.
And the shit show year that they had.
Kind of deservedly, though.
Yeah. But the shit show year that they had.
Yeah.
And then to go to a semifinal, and like just come a hairline from winning it, I was like, you couldn't ask for like anything. Like just, I think I kind of went with England the same way I went with Ian Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they had a fuck show of a year.
Yeah, they did.
And everyone wrote them off. England wrote them off.
Yeah, they did.
I don't think there was anyone thinking they were going to do it. I thought they were going to lose to Argentina. They didn't. I thought they were going to lose to Japan. And they didn't.
Yeah.
Right?
They should be beating those teams week on week.
I thought they were going to lose to Fiji. And then they didn't.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to lose to South Africa. And then they completely changed my mind at the end of that match. I was like, oh, this is this.
I thought they were going to get battered by South Africa. I thought they'd beaten teams they should have beaten. And then all of a sudden they're coming up against a big boy and they're going to get like the face punched in. But no, they stood up.
I thought they were going to get completely like manhandled by South Africa. And it was the opposite.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, they just every single player stepped up for that semifinal game. So for them to lose that game, that must have fucking hurt.
Yeah. I think South Africa were better tactically, right?
That's what came down. Tactics came down.
Yeah.
Like rugby intelligence won that game. Because if you look at that last scrum, they baited England. Yeah. They baited England. They baited the ref.
Yeah.
And they took that penalty. I was sitting beside a guy.
Yeah.
I was sitting beside the South African guy, and he was going through every fucking emotion in this game.
Yeah.
And he was sitting with his wife, who was English, and they're arguing.
Really?
And I'm just like razzing this guy the whole time. I was like, you gotta stay alive, man. He's like, I can't do it. I'm gonna have a heart attack. And I'm like, that scrum comes up. And I turned to him like, listen, they're baiting them right now. They're going to get a penalty. This game's over with. And that's exactly what happens. He looks at me. He's like, oh my God, you were right. You were right. This guy was right. And he like kisses me.
Divorces his wife.
Yeah.
Marries Steve.
Yeah. And like that tactics won that game.
I thought their kicking was pretty impressive
but still like what England like started off in 22-2, which was like just a fucking joke, to where they end it, I thought was really good. They like third place.
You keep talking them up in terms of next World Cup winners because they've got the right toolbox. So when Steve Borthwick took over and he had all these like really cookie cutter media answers, which answered no one's questions, but were just trying to please and placate people. I thought, who the hell have they picked? Right? Like they've just grabbed someone quickly as Eddie Jones has disappeared into the night. Maybe I was wrong about that.
I think everyone was wrong about it.
But
I think they went for a safe choice. That's what I thought when they chose him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just safe and comfortable. This is not going anywhere.
But we do forget what he did with Leicester, which was really impressive, right? And then people are saying, well, he's not stepping up at international level. And I think his selection choices have been weird sometimes, right? The English media love harping on about selection choices as if it should be obvious. But people forget they have an insane talent pool, insane depth. So it is difficult.
He's got a lot of players at his disposal.
He does.
So there is some things too, like just to kind of take away from his aura. Like he does have a lot of resources for him to be successful and stuff. And I think he was just getting the grips around that. And I think he's starting to get the grips around that.
And I think the thing is, when Eddie Jones comes into a team historically, he hits the ground running, right? And because Steve Borthwick didn't, and England expect to do well all the time, it was like, what's going on here? But here's the thing, right? They should have beaten Fiji, Argentina, Japan, because they should beat them with the resources and talent they've got every single year.
Yeah.
They happened to meet Fiji on the up, so it made it an interesting game. And that South Africa game, that was when we started to see the resources and players in action, right? And okay, they're starting to find their confidence, but I think they're a good team, but I think overall a lot of England fans would be saying like they were a letdown this year.
Because at the end of the day, like there's like the money and all their resources they have, their player pool that they can choose from. Like at the end of the day, those players are still human beings. Yeah. Right? And they were dealing with some shit. Oh, like, my heart. Yeah. So much like I'm not an England fan at all.
No, me too.
But just to see that where they started and where they ended off, like you couldn't have like that.
I feel exactly the same way about Wales.
Complete success.
Like I feel like Wales and England had a similar trajectory, right?
Gatlin could have been easily coach of the year. I actually was debating that. Yeah, because I was like, oh, he did a.
We know he can do that, so it wasn't surprising, which maybe made people who were having a similar idea in their head go.
But where Wales were,
we were in a worse place than England were.
Dark, and it's still not even 100%
lost to
better.
Georgia.
And there was just a ton of shit in the background going on.
There still is. It's actually impressive. People forget in that last Six Nations where we were dog shit that the players were threatening strike action, right? That's unprecedented. What other team is talking about strike action and maybe not playing the game against England? If they hadn't played that game, the Welsh Rugby Union would have lost millions, right? It could just collapse the entire system.
And even Gatlin said, like, if I knew the situation fully when I came back, I probably wouldn't have came back. Like, he even said that.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Like, that was before the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? So now he's saying that. Players are saying this shit. All these stories coming out. You thought they were just going to be fucking, like, a disaster at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And it was exact opposite.
Yeah, and that's why Wales-Fiji was my game of the year, because that was a game we could have lost and many people thought we should have lost. But we, despite playing dumb in the second half, we'd won that game by about 50 minutes. And Fiji were incredible and fought their way back into it with like raw talent. But we beat them, right?
They were a fucking amazing team.
They were an amazing team. And the annoying thing for me, a question that I will never be able to answer is, did we play amazing against Australia, or do Australia just suck right now?
Australia sucked.
We were kind of crossing each other on the intersection. You guys just
destroyed them.
It was definitely both. But I really, in my heart, want to believe that is the seed of a quality emerging Wales team, and not just we played a dog shit Australia, because both are true. But I want to know.
I think both are true.
But I want to know which one is more relevant to Wales going forward. It's hard. It's hard to say.
I would say both.
Yeah.
Like, they were shit, but Wales were like. They were on their game.
Yeah, Anscombe. It's annoying for me.
They could have won. They could have won that Argentina game too.
I never felt
that was theirs for the taking, and they just handed it to them.
Yeah. Well, we nearly handed Fiji a game. Yeah. I don't want to talk about Wales too much because we're talking about good teams this year. We're still not amazing.
Well, let's have a little bit of fun. We'll go to a fan question from a fan.
We've got a few fan questions.
We 100% did not make these questions up ourselves. Our fans from all around the world emailed us.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go with your question first.
Okay, question from a fan.
All right.
Might be the same fan. Get rid of scrums or red cards?
You had to choose?
You have to choose. Get rid of scrums or red cards.
I'm going to get rid of red cards.
Why?
I can't
what
get rid
about
of
player
a scrum.
welfare?
I'd rather have a scrum.
You'd rather concussed CTE guys walk around?
Yeah.
You'd rather people just shoulder each other in the head?
Drooling from the mouths.
I think our fans are going to be really upset by that.
Would you get rid of a scrum or a red card?
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
But
that was easy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Did you write another one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. From a fan.
Yeah.
Sorry,
from a fan. What did the other fans write?
That's the same fan.
Yeah.
If you had $1 billion currency, I don't know, dollars, how would you change World Rugby?
Oh.
Or you could just buy your favorite team. Do what you want with it. Actually, you don't have to change anything.
If I had $1 billion to spend
on rugby union on this planet.
Oh my gosh. I would probably buy a club in Canada.
You just buy the arrows, sort them out.
I wouldn't buy an MLR team.
You'd make an MLR team.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't make an MLR team. It would be like a.
Because you could.
I would if I had $1 billion, I would probably spend it. I would try to buy a team in Toronto because that's the closest to Europe, and then try to get a team in one of the leagues there.
Oh, that would be cool. Kind of like the Wolfpack in Rugby League.
Yeah, it would be a Toronto team in the URC.
Right.
Or in the Prem, whatever the fuck. Whoever let me in.
They would. I'm not sure they would let you because they want TV deal rights. Even with $1 billion, they might just be like, "What are you bringing to the table?"
I think if I was a billionaire, I had $1 billion to spend on a team.
Just give them 500
I think they'll just let me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Just give them $1 million every year for the sake of it. They might be like, "Okay, yeah, you can stay."
I think that's something I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Or I'd probably I would definitely buy a club if I could too.
I think so. I think both of us would probably do selfish things with the money instead of the
I don't know. I'm not smart enough to
me too.
Use the money to fix the game.
No, and I don't think money fixes it, does it? It's people.
Also, I think a lot of problems people have with the game, I really kind of don't have.
No, me too. We were talking about this.
TMO issues. I don't have a problem with TMO issues.
No, me too, man.
I don't know if there's I think one thing would be the
I love
tier
the
2
bunker
nations.
system.
The disadvantage tier 2 nations have, but there's a plethora of problems, and those get political in some countries too.
They do
with their issues,
and there's corruption, right?
And the corruption, those are things I wouldn't be able to fix.
Was it the Samoan team that were caught to have been just spending the money given to them? Like the head of the union was just pocketing
they just had $4 million just disappear.
Yeah,
We don't know where the money was. Can you help? Like, can you help us find it? Come and watch
Give us $1 million to
an
find
interview
the money.
with the head of, like, I think it was Rugby Samoa, and he's like, they're like, where did all the money go? We don't know. Can you help us? It's like, oh my gosh,
Dear,
like, how corrupt is this?
Yeah, geez.
And I wouldn't be able to fix Rugby Canada.
They need money, though. To be fair, they actually do need money.
They do, but I don't know if you gave them the money, they would know what to do with it.
I think if
how many registered players are in Canada?
32.
And the amount of money we give Rugby Canada every year.
Me and you specifically, I paid him $350,
yeah.
and I played 3 games of rugby this season.
Yeah, because I think there's like $100 per player.
Yeah, they have money
across the country.
So to fix North American rugby, I'll keep it brief, I promise. You just need to schedule regular matches in close proximity, right?
But they can't even get that done.
No, that's baffling. Why can't you just schedule a match with Chile and the USA? Like, why can't you have an American Six Nations? It'd be presumably, if you had the money, relatively
Well, they have
easy.
a thing coming now down the pipeline.
They do, yeah. But why is it taking them this long?
Like, their players in wrestling want to play for Canada.
Well, we'll get the players who are here to play the games,
When they re-signed Kingsley Jones.
It's a dark day.
When they did that,
yeah,
there's no hope. Like, these, like...
Yeah. It's all they can afford. It's all they can afford.
It's like, you can expect anything from them. Yeah, we have a huge plan to, like, just inject Rugby Canada with money. We're opening 4 hot dog stands in Vancouver. What? Yeah. Like, that's the level of intelligence, but like, that could be
afford. That's a good business idea. Brings in money.
Here's my question for you.
Okay.
This is a good one too.
Okay.
If you can take any player from any other nation to play for Wales, who would you pick?
Oh, I like it. It's either a hooker or a lock, I think. I think I'd like Dan Sheehan. Which is harsh because Dewi Lake is our new, young, sexy, upcoming hooker.
Yeah.
But Dan Sheehan is, he just does so much around the field. He pops up on the wing.
I thought you were going to pick Owen Farrell.
How dare you? How dare you? I think we've got, 10 is going to be a weird one, but I'd rather, drink my own piss.
Joe Mahler. I'm going to pick Joe Mahler.
I'm going to pick him. No, thanks. No,
that's a bit. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. If we were talking about locks, yeah.
You can have any, yeah.
Yeah, talk about locks, yeah.
But you picked Dan Sheehan.
I think I picked Dan Sheehan because I want someone young as well. Like, we've got leadership, I think. We just need a bit of X Factor youth in the forward pack. I think that's what we're missing. Dav Jenkins looks like the real deal. He's captaining Exeter regularly. I think Adam Beard, he has his critics. He's okay. I think I fall somewhere in between. I don't hate him. I don't love him. He's good enough. Will Rowlands is good. Like, we just don't... I can't think of many of our forwards. Jack Morgan's a bit of an X Factor player. Dewi Lake is good, but I actually don't think Dewi Lake is kind of dynamic enough around the field to kind of be a guy for the future as much as some people think, which is a sad thing to say because he captained Wales under 20s. Like, he's really good. I just think Dan Sheehan's a bit better. Maybe that's a bit of a... Now you're saying it, now I do want Ebenezer actually. I would also take Quagga Smith, my player of the year. Yeah, love that guy.
What about Sia Khaleesi?
I think the thing about Wales is, like, we've always had, like, charismatic leaders, like Sam Warburton, Alan Wynne-Jones. Like, as much as I love Sia Khaleesi, we don't need that mold of player. We don't need the guy who's good at talking to refs, who's also a really good flanker. I think Jack Morgan's that guy.
You wouldn't take Peter O'Mahony?
No, no. Yeah. I don't think he's. Yeah.
Well, that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. You can catch us on almost all podcast platforms. Almost. Pretty soon.
Why say almost? Oh.
Yeah.
That's my fault, isn't it?
Someone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
And you can reach us at the Friends of Rugby Pod at gmail.com.
Cool.
Yeah, we got our own email now.
Nice.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Happy Christmas, guys.
Yeah. See you next week.